Great, thanks, Al. Hopefully everyone can see my screen and see Asset Minder here front and center.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and very pleased to present invma to you. I'm Peter Stevens, the CEO of invma, and we're the company behind Asset Minder, which is a SaaS-based industrial IoT product, and I'm going to take you through our product and the development and the rollout that we've seen. But talking about some of the previous presentations, we're taking advantage of a lot of those different elements around industrial IoT and IoT elements, including those low-cost sensors, the advancements on cloud computing, 5G technologies, artificial intelligence and machine learning as part of our business. We are maximizing the use of edge computing and also deploying really great UI, UX, and we have a fantastic group of software developers and engineers that we work with. And on top of that, a lot of practical real-world experience around factories and automation. So a little bit about us and the fact that, we were a company based in the UK, but we really are a global company and have worked around the world. The teams that we have here have 30 plus years of global IoT experience. The founders and the group of developers have really got practical end-to-end operations capabilities across a whole range of different factory settings, transport settings, a lot of different processing and industrial settings with respect to putting digital automation and hooking up factory floors and factory settings to gain data and to be able to analyze important critical equipment and to be able to give factory managers the information that they need. So what we like to say about invma and what's different about us is we're really born out of the real world of people, of engineers who spent time in factories and factory locations, really getting their elbows and hands full of grease as they've brought digital automation into the factory floor. So a bit more about Asset Minder. A bit of background about us is that we are artificial intelligence driven. It's an industrial IoT SaaS platform, software as a service, offering intelligent solutions to a whole multitude of different type of end users. We're a company that provides multiple modules solving complex industrial challenges. The business in our platform is easy to deploy. It's remote asset monitoring and management with a whole host of different productivity solutions that you can purchase through different modules. One of our key assets is the fact that we've done a lot of the work to make sure that any machine can be connected. So what we like to say is we're machine agnostic connectivities for factories, for plants, for utilities, for infrastructure, for smart cities, etc. If you have a machine or an asset that needs to be connected, we're your team to put this together. So we provide OEMs and aftermarket with new sources of revenues and low return to help them stay connected with their customers, providing great parts and service agreements and extended warranties, a whole host of new services that OEMs and factories can use after they sell their equipment to other customers. So we really have a rapidly scalable SaaS product, all based in the cloud. We're experiencing strong growth in the UK, and that we've got a whole host of great channel partners working with us, as well as our own direct sales force. We're expanding into Europe and the USA during 2021. So just to take a step back and understand what's going on with industrial IoT and why are we where we are today. In fact, there are a lot of things that are connected in the industrial setting. However, problems occur every day on factory floors. And why is that? Well, actually, 70% of machine data never gets picked up at all. And you'd be surprised that in a very connected world where everyone has 3.3 billion smartphones out there, why can't all industrial settings be hooked up? Well, it's complex to hook them up. It's difficult. And then once data is flowing, it's also difficult to manage that data. So that data that is picked up is often fragmented or siloed. It's used after the fact and not proactively. It's quickly forgotten, and it's frankly useless unless analyzed. And so that's what's been happening too often across factory floor settings or any industrial processing setting. And even well-connected factories don't have a single point of view or analysis and only get alerted when things go wrong. And so as a result, that results in unplanned downtime, and it has a direct impact on margins of a business. So we at AssetMinder and invma, we're now delivering customers the control that they need in one pane of glass. So we put all of your factory elements, all of your processing facility, all of your retail floor connections, all of your factory plants and plant equipment into one pane of glass, giving you all the information you need, all the alerts around all of your business, and allows you to manage that from one location. We also offer sub-parts of this network for key members of your staff if they're operating one core element of your business. So for example, here's AssetMinder deployed in a factory setting. It's a proactive digital transformation is what we call it. You have a typical factory setting with people and machines, and what we're doing is accelerating digital transformation. So Nick, who's the floor manager here, is connected up to all of the assets in the business. You see that there's one asset, one of the robots is potentially going to have a problem in the future. That's monitored by our platform, and we've analyzed that there's a potential issue with that particular product. And AssetMinder also allows you to hook into the OEM who provided you that machine, and through the service agreement, service warranties and service providers, as soon as there's a problem with one of your devices, you're already in communication with a parts supplier that's coming out to provide the needed part to repair that particular machine. So we work closely with factories, we work with parts suppliers, we work with other OEMs in connecting up the whole infrastructure so that the company can keep running and that you can keep the business uptime all the time. So equipment agnostic visibility and proactive AI insights is what we talk about that improves efficiency, productivity, and ultimately margins and profits. So artificial intelligence driven digital insights, we have a extensive machine data library with a historical information around a whole host of different operating machines, so that when we have new customers that hook up their factory floor to AssetMinder, they join a network of extensive library and are able to pull out information that's critical for operating and predicting problems within their own machines. So we have them focusing on relevant data. We label key events and give warnings to the management teams and help them focus on the key elements that they need to focus on. We have warnings and reports and keeping people posted at all times. We're continuing to refine our models, and we're continuing to understand the machines that we hook up and hook into, to be able to understand if they're working effectively and efficiently. And we are able to tell if there's an anomaly detection or any sort of issues and provide those insights instantly into our platform so that the management team can target issues immediately. So what are we doing with this platform and productivity perspective? So we take a look at some of the KPIs that people want to achieve, and they're using AssetMinder in a whole host of areas, basically to improve productivity. So if you look at some key statistics, 1% increase in production of some key factories results in a 7% increase in profits. However, if you look at productivity basis, most companies, most factories actually operate at a 60% productivity level. And this is something we called OEE. And that's a key KPI that factories try to follow. Now, Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola and their bottling factories probably operated around an 85% world-class productivity level. Most factories, as I said, are at 60%, but actually even more factories operate at 40%. So by deploying AssetMinder, we are helping you to identify the issues that are slowing your factory down, reducing quality, reducing productivity, and as a result, will help you increase your overall equipment efficiency. And by the way, increasing your efficiency also reduces your cost of labor, but it also reduces your utility cost, it reduces wastage, and as a result, and as companies are very focused on their CO2 equivalent usage, we're also helping companies deliver on their ESG goals with respect to a better usage of utilities and energy components. So what do? So we actually deploy a wide range of analytical tools. As I mentioned, artificial intelligence and machine learning and a whole host of algorithms to historical data that we have on our cloud computing network that we then link up with assets that are connected into our network. And so we then begin to listen to our customers' machines' vitals, almost like a medical technician. We help them maintain their operational fitness. We diagnose issues before they happen. We proactively prescribe service plans so that maintenance can happen at nighttime or in time or when there's not a peak time in the factory usage, thus reducing downtime and an increasing operating efficiency. So we're all about remote asset monitoring, and remote asset monitoring can happen in the factory floor, it can happen out in the field, it can happen in ports, it can happen in food processing plants. So what we find is that AssetMinder is being deployed in a whole host of environments. So we've got no disruption to existing factories, frictionless deployments, and proactive management. So part of the key to AssetMinder and its industrial automation is that we want to make and democratize industrial IoT for the masses. And so we can only do this in a SaaS setting. So instead of creating a bespoke digital automation solution for a factory, for a top corporate, what we're trying to do is bring all of these capabilities, now that we have the cloud computing and lower cost sensors and 5G, into the SaaS setting so that we can make AssetMinder and industrial automation available to the masses. And so the result is that we have a platform that's easy to install, it's click and connect, it's drag and drop, it's plug and play, and we continue to improve our platform to achieve these objectives, to provide a seamless customer experience, and to be widely available to a whole host of different size companies out there. So we have launched a couple modules already. We've launched AssetMinder Connect and AssetMinder Reliability during 2019 and 2020. AssetMinder Connect connects all your assets into one location so you can view them on one pane of glass. We can create customized alerts. We can provide time series analysis so you can see historically what's been going on with each of your machines. And then reliability provides additional analytics on top of that, some of the artificial intelligence that allows us to do more predictive maintenance. We do anomaly detection, and we're allowing for prescriptions to be offered to factory managers to help them decide what to do with the information that we provided them and how they can maintain those pieces of machinery and what parts they may need to order in order to fix the problem. During this year, we'll also be offering additional modules, and they're already launched in bespoke elements to some larger corporate customers of ours. We've got AssetMinder Utility, which is bringing all of the host of utility elements in and out of a factory, again, into AssetMinder. So not only can you maintain and manage your factory equipment and machines, but also pair that with the utilities coming in and out of your business. And part of that is monitoring waste management, power management, compressed air, a whole host of different utilities. We also help you improve productivity with AssetMinder Productivity, and that's around improving overall quality and efficiency ratings. We also work with a host of maintenance companies that are maintaining assets out in the field, and there are a whole range of different service options we can provide through AssetMinder Serviceability. And then we put all of these together within AssetMinder Enterprise, which is overall process management, whether that's one factory or a whole host of factories, so you can compare and contrast and be able to manage across your plant, whether that's in single country or multi countries. So we're already deployed in a whole host of different companies around the UK and now into France and Belgium, and we're expanding into the US. We're in water treatment facilities, we're in factories, we're in quarries, we're deployed with smart infrastructure and food processing plants and port authorities. We're working with global industrial players. We're working with national retailers. We're working on railroad networks, and we're hooking up global food brands. And these activities are happening in the UK, across Europe, and into the US with some great channel partners. We're also working with our direct sales team. And also Tern's been a great partner with us as well. They too have been operating, our board members have been operating SaaS business and tech businesses, and they are at the seat around the table with us as we're deploying and making decisions around industrial IoT. This is a business and a sector that's moving very rapidly and is developing very quickly, and it's great to have the Tern partners who also are meeting and working with a lot of our other compatriots around the market, making great introductions for us, and introducing us to new players and helping us stay abreast of these trends in what really is a really rapidly developing market. So what we say is our SaaS model is really simple and straightforward. It's a low upfront implementation fee. You have an annual subscription providing updates and support. There's usage-based fees over certain thresholds and modular product upgrades. So the key markets that we're focused on is our home market in the UK, but expanding into Benelux, and then we're also expanding into Germany at the moment with a large industrial player there, and the US as well as a key market for expansion for us. So we are growing into these new markets. We're leveraging key pan-European industrial sales channel partners. We're upselling to additional AssetMinder modules that I've told you about. So not only are we selling to new customers, but we're going back to our existing customers and selling them more, and they're hooking up more and more of their own assets. And so one of our key water utility partners started with one asset at one facility, and now they've hooked up thousands of assets in about 100 facilities. And we're currently talking to a customer about launching around 15,000 sensors around the world, and talking to national retailers about hooking up tens of thousands of sensors across the UK. So this market's really expanding rapidly, and we're right in the heart of it. And so we're really excited about scaling up the modules that we've built. And so we continue to invest in our sales and marketing and up-tiering the AssetMinder user experience and making AssetMinder really easy for our partners to deploy. And so that's a quick run through of AssetMinder and invma. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.